Radhe Krishna, welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is major domains of the earth. The surface of the earth is a complex zone in which the three main kinds of components meet, overlap and interact with each other in some or the other way. The solid portion of the earth on which we live is known as the lithosphere. The gaseous form that surrounds the earth is the atmosphere, and which has many kinds of gases. And water also occupies a large area of the earth. This is known as the hydrosphere. The narrow zone of contact between these three zones is known as the biosphere, in which the three main components meet, overlap and interact with each other. Biosphere is the domain of life, which contains all forms of life. Let us look at them a bit more briefly. Lithosphere. The lithosphere is the solid portion of the earth on which we live. It comprises of the rocks in the earth's crust and a thin layer of soil as well, which contains nutrient elements and which sustain organisms. It can be divided into two groups: the ocean basins and the continents. Continents are the large land masses that we live on, and the large water bodies are known as the ocean basins. The level of the sea is the same everywhere. The elevation of the land is measured from the level of the sea, which is taken as 0. The highest point in the lithosphere is the tip of the Mount Everest, which has the height of 8,848 meters tall, 48 meters above sea level. And while the Earth's deepest point is located in the Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean, which has the depth of 11,022 meters deep. Continents make up a major part of lithosphere, and we have 7 major continents, so let's learn about them a bit more briefly. There are 7 major continents: Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia and Europe. And most of the landmass lies mostly in the northern hemisphere and a bit in the southern hemisphere. Asia among these is the largest continent. Asia occupies about 1/3 of the earth's total land area. Asia is divided by Europe by the Ural Mountains in the west. The combined landmass of Asia and Europe is known as the Eurasia. Speaking of Europe, let's move on to Europe. Europe is much smaller than Asia, and the continent lies to the west of Asia. Europe, the Arctic Circle passes through Europe. And next, Africa. Africa is the second largest continent, and the equator passes almost through the middle of this continent. If you look at the map more closely, you will notice that Africa is the only continent through which the equator, Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn pass through. After Africa, we have the Sahara Desert that is also located in Africa, and the world's longest river, the Nile River, that is also flows through Africa. Next, North America. North America is the 3rd largest continent. It is located in the northern hemisphere and in the eastern hemisphere. North America is connected to South America by a very narrow stretch of land known as the Isthmus of Panama. Next, South America. South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere. South America has the world's longest mountain range, the Andes mountain range. South America also has the world's largest river, the Nile River, which flows through it. I was about to say Amazon. South America also has the world's largest river, the Amazon River, that flows through it. Next, Australia. Australia is the smallest continent. Australia is located completely in the southern hemisphere and is surrounded by seas and oceans on all sides. Thus, is also known as an island continent. Next, Antarctica. Antarctica is located also completely in the southern hemisphere. The South Pole lies almost at the center of the continent. Antarctica, since it lies near the polar regions, there are no permanent human settlements. But many countries have their research stations in Antarctica. India also has research stations there which are known as the Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. Next, let's move on to hydrosphere. The Earth is known as the blue planet because of the presence of water in it. The Earth has a lot of water in it, and most of which is present in seas and oceans. 29% of the Earth's space is occupied by water and is occupied by land, and the rest, which is the 71%, makes up all the water. But most of this water, 97% of all this water, is located in the seas and oceans, which is too salty for human use. And the rest of the most of the other water that we find is fresh water, is located in the glaciers and ice sheets, is in the form of them. And thus, we only have a small amount of water in the form of underground water in rivers and lakes and a few other water bodies like streams and all for human use. Hence, even though Earth is a blue planet, we face a shortage of water. Oceans contain most of the water, and oceans. Let's learn about oceans right now. The ocean waters are always moving. There are three main ocean movements: the waves, tides, and ocean currents. There are the five main kinds of oceans: the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, and Antarctic Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is the largest of them all. The Pacific Ocean is almost circular in shape. The Pacific Ocean is almost circular in shape. The Pacific Ocean touches the borders of Africa, and I don't think it's Africa actually, North America, South America, Asia, and Australia. Next, the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is in the shape of an S. The Atlantic Ocean touches the borders of North America, South America, then Europe, and then Africa. That gives it the shape of an S. And the coastal lines of this ocean are highly intended, which provides a natural spot for natural harbors. And if you look at it from this point of view, it is the busiest ocean in the world. Next, the Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is almost triangular in shape. The Indian Ocean is the only ocean that is named after a country, that is India. It is almost triangular in shape, with Asia on its north, Africa on its west, Australia on its east. And because India is located on top of the Indian Ocean, when we look at the map it appears like that. Because India is located on the top of the Indian Ocean, it is named as the Indian Ocean. Next, the Antarctic Ocean. The Antarctic Ocean circles the continent of Antarctica, and it also extends to the 60-degree south latitude. Next, the Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Ocean circles the North Pole. The Arctic Ocean is located on top and it circles the North Pole. And that is all I can tell you about oceans. So let's move on to the atmosphere. The atmosphere is very important for the survival of living beings, and the atmosphere is also very important. It provides us with the air we breathe, and also provides it does not let the harmful rays of the sun reach the earth. The atmosphere extends up to great heights. It extends up to about, let's say, 1,600 kilometers high. And then there are five kinds of layers in the atmosphere, and these layers are divided upon the temperature, air pressure, and other properties. And these layers are the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, exosphere, and the thermosphere. And the atmosphere contains of various kinds of gases. 99% of clean dry air, which is nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen is about occupies about a lot of the atmosphere. The atmosphere is made up of mainly nitrogen and oxygen that makes up the clean dry air, which is 99%. And other gases like carbon dioxide and other gases comprise only by a small amount, just 1%. Oxygen is vital for the survival of living beings. It provides us with the air we breathe, and oxygen is very important. While carbon dioxide, though provided in a small amount, is important for the growth of plants as well as maintaining the surface temperature on the earth. And also the density of the air varies as we go up. The density of the air varies as we go up, and this is the reason climbers experience problems during when they're climbing a mountain, while they're trying to breathe at high altitudes. This is why they need to carry oxygen cylinders along with them to be able to breathe at high altitudes. The oxygen is mainly the maximum at the sea level and decreases rapidly as we go up. The air pressure also varies from place to place. Some areas may experience high air pressure while others may experience low air pressure. Air always travels from high pressure to low pressure. Moving air is known as wind. Next, the biosphere. The biosphere is the narrow zone of contact between the three domains of the earth: atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere, where they all meet, overlap, interact and make life possible on the earth. This biosphere is the domain of life. It is in this domain that life that is unique to the planet exists. And biosphere consists of all kinds of living organisms, from small microorganisms and bacteria to large living mammals. And including human beings, all of the animals, plants and living organisms, including human beings, are linked to the domains of the earth and biosphere for survival. All the living organisms can be classified into two groups: the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. And these three domains of the earth interact with each other and affect each other in some or the other way. For example, us cutting down trees for fulfilling our needs of wood, or for fulfilling our needs of wood, and other things like chemical gases released from factories that pollute the air and other things. Similarly, natural calamities such as earthquakes or the land submerging underwater. For example, take the recent incident that happened in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Parts of Andaman and Nicobar Islands were submerged in water. These kinds of natural calamities happen a bit when the Earth's domains interact with each other and affect each other. And also, chemical gases released from the factories also pollute the air a lot. Carbon dioxide is released when this happens. Carbon dioxide, I agree, is very important, but only small amounts is necessary for us. If there is an increase in carbon dioxide in the air, it traps more and more heat, which causes the global temperatures, which is referred to as global warming. Thus, there is a need to limit our uses of the natural features like cutting down trees and other kinds of pollutions. There is a need to limit them so that we can maintain a balance between the three domains of the earth which interact each other and form biosphere: the atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. All these form the biosphere. At the end of this, I would like to show you a chart that I made here about the three domains of the earth and how they interact with each other. Here, this is the lithosphere. The lithosphere consists of land, including ocean basins and continents. I did not write continents here because land itself represents continents. This is the lithosphere. Next, the hydrosphere. Okay, this is not actually how the three domains look, but it's just a chart to represent them. And this is the hydrosphere. The hydrosphere consists of oceans and all other forms of water. This is the atmosphere. The atmosphere is the domain of the air. It consists of air, and where all these three domains interact with each other, it forms the biosphere. This part represents the biosphere. They are interacting with each other and forming the biosphere, which is the domain of life. And at the end, I would like to tell you that all these words are originated in Greek. The lithosphere in the Greek language means stone. Only part of the lithosphere, which is lithos. In lithosphere, lithos means stone. In hydrosphere, hydro means water. And in atmosphere, atmos means vapor. And biosphere, bios means life. All these are the domains of the earth. Well, that's it for today. Until next time, I'm Aradhya. I'll see you in the next video.